welcome. Let's talk about the subtle realms today. Have you heard that term? Do you believe we're multi-dimensional beings? I sure do. And that is because I'm a mystic. That's how we love to discover our own spirituality and understand consciousness, is through personal experiences. And that is how it's happened for me. So subtle is how messages often come in, and it's why people have a hard time developing and trusting themselves. And it is a process. That's why I always say practice and keep a little log, a notebook with you. But here I just thought, let me explain this a little more. When a hit comes in, it can be just a little flash. And from my experience, this is just, my take on things, because everything that I've discovered has really been through my own personal experience. And back when my gifts really came on board, I didn't know about metaphysics or New Age groups or anything like that. I'd never been to a psychic, didn't know anyone to call and trust to try to talk about the things that were happening. I did get online and find some books. I'm a reader. And it would be little questionnaires. And then they're like, okay, if this is how you're experiencing things, this could be what's happening. And I would kind of at least get some assistance in figuring it out. And then for me, it was years of just being, wonder what this means or why it's coming in like that. And I want to tell you a little story. It's kind of silly, but that's kind of the point too. I had a dear friend, lost her a few years back. She transitioned. Her name was Lucille. And she loved to have me up to her place in the North Georgia mountains and do little circles for mediumship. And she would invite over friends. She had been a teacher her whole career. And so her husband, well, he had done other things, but he had passed. And I did some work with him at end of life. But anyway, she just thought she was wonderful. I miss her. She just thought everyone should be exposed to my gifts. And she just loved me. And so it was very sweet. And I miss her very much. But anyway, so little things happened there years ago that taught me a lot. I learn more with every single reading I do. I learned something. So once at her house, I was reading, and it was people I had not met before, because it would be kind of a room full, It would be, and the first one I'll tell you is like I was getting a hit around the circus. Now, like this aunt that was deceased, I'm getting like, was she in the circus? Like that's kind of what I was getting. But for some reason, I didn't want to say that. Why? I don't know. Was I judging being in the circus was something to be embarrassed about? That's on me, okay? So these are the things I learned. And I'm going to tell you one more that's even more kind of whoop. And sure enough, the aunt had done that in her early day. And I finally had to ease myself into that. But I always ask spirits, that energy stream coming through, tell me or show me something that I can give to them, so they'll know this is really you and your energy's really here with us. And for me, that's what it's all about. It's about healing and helping people know we're not alone. So in sessions like this, we laugh, we cry, we query, it's just a big old combination. But when the subtle realms come through, like this next one, you got to catch them. I mean, you have to catch them quick. It might just be, I don't know how long is it, 10 seconds, 30 seconds? It's quick. And it's just like, and I'm saying this so you guys will know, to try to help in case you've experienced this or you do in the future, maybe you'll understand how to work with it. So it'll come through and you'll most of the time probably just bypass it. You're like, you don't know what that's about. Just some just some fleeting thought or energy. Okay. I've learned by years of doing this, and I now have a commitment to the spirit world. I'll say everything that comes through. I would rather it be wrong or something we don't understand or we're interpreting wrong. I always say, keep a little basket over here, and if something doesn't make sense, just energetically put it over here. Just let it go. Because sometimes it may not be coming, who knows? I don't pretend to really understand these realms, but I know that we're a part of them. And going deeper into investigating and just being with it is part of my life's journey, for sure. And I think probably most of you guys. So I say everything now. And so I'd rather say that because my commitments to the Spirit and be wrong are them 3 weeks later. Give me a call. I had that happen. I kept getting this hit about these Sunday afternoons with this lady and going down this, I was just describing what I was seeing. And it was along train tracks. And she just kept saying, I'm like, okay, that's no worries, My friend saw her in the grocery store the very next day. And she said, oh my God, my dad took us down there every Sunday. That was our thing. And we were talking to her dad at the time. But sometimes when you're doing readings or getting information, the people that are the sitters, they may be too anxious or altered or something to be able to receive or to remember. It's often good if you have another family member or a close friend there. So that's what happened with the next one. So the lady's husband had passed and he was coming through, and he's always kind of frisky when he comes through. Wanting me to kind of, give her a little bum push from behind. I mean, he's a little frisky. And of course we were dear friends, so I could kind of do this. But at the beginning of one of her readings, he's there and he keeps like pointing and saying, remember the toilet paper, and not really saying that. I saw that, like toilet paper on the bottom of her shoe. How random is that? I would never make that up for sure. Because for me, it was like, why am I a little embarrassed to say this? I'm a proper Southern girl. Part of me is, at least. But anyway, I finally said, why is he showing me this? And this is, when it comes through, you say it. Now, don't try to figure it out, because this is where we go wrong. Because then I'm like, what does that mean? I'm like, were you ever in a restaurant with him and you didn't know that and you came out and it embarrassed you? Or she's like, no. And then her daughter was there. And her daughter's like, oh my gosh, Mom, remember at school, they were both teachers, one day she did something for a the dress up and skits that they were doing at school. And she purposely did that. She taped the tissue to the bottom of her shoe. I can't remember what the whole gig was about, but see, Joe chose that. I mean, how unique and random. So for a laugh, for one, because he was that kind of guy, but also, heck, we knew it was him. She knew it was him is the most important part. So I hope these make sense. They're a little silly, and I want to encourage you to work with the subtle realms and how they choose to work with you. So when you get these little flashes, don't ignore them. Grab them. Just grab them and just sit with them. Just say it. And then you can talk it through, because it's their person and their energy. I think of it kind of like a pyramid or a triangle, because I have to connect with the loved one. They have a connection with the loved one. They have a connection with me. The loved one has to talk to me. We have to all fit the energy flow here. And some people, energy's not a better match, but a more congruent match with maybe where I'm at the time, or where she's at the time. Or like this medium may get things in a totally different way than this one does. And that's kind of what that's about. Anyway, this was a flash for me this morning that I haven't thought about in years. So I thought, I think I meant to share that. So here I am sharing that with you. And I do this not just for entertainment or for a laugh, which that's okay too, if you just like to watch. But I want you to pay attention, because I really want to encourage each and every one of you. You're mystics. You're mystics in your own right. You don't ever have to want to go be a medium or do readings for the public. I understand, because I'm not a shy girl, as you can tell, but I'm still hesitant to go do the mediumship. I have a one coming up in May, and I'm like, I still get nervous. I'm like, what if people don't come through? You know, and I've done this a long time, and I know they come through, but it's like, I'm also come from that wanting to please. I was in a background in sales my whole career, and I want my customers, my clients to be happy and all that. The spirit realm doesn't work that way. And here's a real big thing. Please know, and I feel real emotional saying this. In these realms, we're multidimensional. It's us humans that are all judgy. In the other realms, there's no judgment. Right, wrong, good, bad, left, right, all of that. No judgment. So, and I think that's part of our growing consciousness now, and some of the changes we're going through overall, privately and, you know, in the whole of our planet and our society, is to become less judgmental. And I mean, even in the small ways. Just don't judge yourself. Or this happened and we perceive that as a negative, or, and this is a good thing. Try to kind of quit that, because the more, my understanding, the more we expand our consciousness, the more neutral we become. Also, the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. But that neutrality, to realize, just quit judging. And I sit with people that come through. I've sat with children that have committed suicide, like teenagers. I've had so many different experiences, and like, they're happy, by the way. They're not in purgatory, but they're really, I mean, the ones that have come through for me are in a good place. But my point is just not to judge, even in our daily life, good, bad. Just say it is. Like if you're moody today, go, it's interesting. That's how I feel today. Don't deny that. I'm not encouraging anyone to get stuck in negativity or bad places, but I'm encouraging you to be authentic and sit with your emotions and you. Don't reject yourself. Don't reject your feelings and emotions. We don't need to let them run the show and, you know, all of that all the time and become obsessed. But let everything just be okay and flow through you. I hope this makes sense. I really do. And you know what? I love speaking with you guys today. I hope you love this subject. I'm the Merry Mystic, wishing you lots of love from my heart to your mystic heart. See you soon.